Hey guys, what's up? Mr. C here. Going to be talking about parabolas today. We're moving on to chapter 10, specifically lesson 10.2, where we're going to be spending most of our time for the next couple weeks in chapter 10. Yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So talking about parabolas, it's going to be a little bit more in depth than what we've gone over in the past. First of all, we are going to go over what the equation for a horizontal parabola will look like. And I know there's a lot going on in this picture, so let me just kind of try to describe it. So every parabola has what's called a focus and a directrix. Focus and directrix. So F is the focus, and this line here, x equals negative a. We should say the focus is the point a comma 0 in this case. And the directrix is a line, x equals negative a in this case. So again, every parabola has a focus, which is a point, and a directrix, which is a line. Now, what these things are is that this point and this line, you can choose any point on your parabola. Say I choose a point here. Okay. This distance here from the focus to this point is always the same as the distance from this point to the line, the directrix. Okay, so it's the same is true for this point here. This distance here is equidistant to this distance here. And again, that's true for any point, even the origin. This distance here is equidistant to that distance there. Okay, that's what the focus and directrix are basically doing for us, just if you're curious of what those are, where they come from. Now, how we find the focus and directrix is from this equation here. Right? Solving for a in this equation is going to give us the directrix and the focus. All right, so let's go ahead and look at an example. Which is find an equation of a parabola with a vertex at 0, 0 and focus is at 3, 0. Okay, an equation of a parabola with a vertex at 0, 0 and focus at 3, 0. Before we do this one, I should mention one thing. This is a horizontal parabola. Okay, if we wanted to do a vertical, I should probably look this up. So let me take this and put this here and this equation here. So this is the horizontal one. Let me do for vertical. Oops. Okay, only thing that changes is the x and y. So for a y, which is kind of what we're used to. So horizontal has an y squared, vertical has an x squared, which we're kind of used to a vertical parabola. So this one, we need to think if the vertex is at 0, 0, and the focus is at 1, 2, 3, okay, 3, 0, if that's point F, here's the vertex, you should be able to tell which way this is open up by this information. The focus is always kind of like in between your two arcs for your parabola, just like this one right here. Okay, this parabola is open to the right, and the focus is between your arcs here. In the scenario that they just gave us, okay, should be the same. we should know we're opening right, so it's a horizontal parabola. All right, so we know what do you do y squared instead of x squared. So we should have y squared equals 4ax. But what is a? A we get from the focus. A is 3. Right? If you remember this equation down here, the focus is a comma 0. That relates to these equations up here. So 4 times 4x and y squared equals 16x. This is my equation, okay? So it's as simple as that for, oh, sorry, a was 3, right? 1 second. A was 3, not 4. Y squared equals 12x. That's better. Okay. Y squared equals 12x. That is my equation of a parabola with a vertex at 0, 0 and a focus at 3, 0. Okay. Let's try another one using these focus and directrix. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's not say analyze, let's say find the focus and directrix of the equation y squared equals 8x. Right? Find the focus and the directrix of the equation y squared equals 8x. Right? So it's open horizontally because we know we have a y squared and not an x squared. So we need to find a. Okay, that's our question. And if we know the general form is y squared equals 4ax, right? What did we multiply 4 by to get 8? So basically we're solving, okay, 4 times a, that gave me 8. What is a? Well, if you divide by 4, a is 2, right? So getting a to be 2, we should know that this opens up to the right if we're trying to find the focus and the directrix. If here's the vertex, we know a is 2, so a is 2 away from the vertex. 2 here at 2 comma 0. Okay, that's my focus. Now the directrix I had mentioned is the same distance away from the vertex as the focus is. You can see that here. Okay, these distances are the same. Okay, vertex to the line here, the directrix, and vertex to the focus. So that means the directrix over here D is x equals -2 should be the directrix. So if we're trying to organize our answers, we should have the focus at 2, 0 and the directrix is x equals -2. Okay, because remember, one is a point and one is a line. Focus is the point, directrix is that vertical line for this one. All right. I hope that makes sense. I know this is probably kind of hard to do like in a really short video without much explanation. But if you guys have questions, let me know. We're going to go ahead and move on to the second half of the lesson, Tuesday's lesson. But again, if you have any questions on Mondays, which is where we're ending right now, please let me know before you move on. So let's go ahead and continue on for those who are marching forward. So, all right, all those examples we just went over was where the vertex is at the center, or the origin, okay, 0, 0. Now, if our vertex is not at the origin, Okay, the equations look a little bit different. I'm going to go ahead and take a picture of this because this is kind of the easiest way to get this information to you as quick as possible. So, all right. Okay, here's the table. I know it probably looks like a lot of information right here. Sorry that I have like a shadow in every one of my pictures just because of where I'm sitting. So remember how typically, or I'll just write it and this will probably make sense. Y minus k squared equals 4a times x minus h. Okay, you guys can probably guess what h and k represent in this equation since we've been doing h and k all year for circles, for parabolas, for different things. H and k are going to represent wherever the vertex is. Now, typically, when the examples we just went over, h and k were at the origin, so 0, 0, which is how we got y squared equals 4ax when h and k are both 0. But if the vertex does move, then we do have this h and we do have this k. So all the different types of the equation, and they'll tell you opens right, opens left, opens up, opens down. So the opens up and opens down, notice, are my x's are being squared. Okay, that's kind of what we're used to. And then open right, open left is the y's are being squared. The only difference is you have a negative 4a for it opening to the left for the y, and you have a negative 4a when it opens down for the x, which I'm hoping we're I hope that makes sense for us, okay? So let's go ahead and look at an example when we don't have a vertex at the center. Let's look at this one. Find an equation of the parabola with vertex at -2, 3 and focus 0, 3. Okay, find an equation of the parabola with a vertex at -2, 3 and a focus at 0, 3. Okay, focus at 0, 3. So first thing we want to do is try to identify which direction this parabola is opening. The way to do that is to draw a quick sketch to see what's going on. So we have the vertex is left 2 and up 3. Give myself a little bit more room. Okay. Left 2, 1, 2, up 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. There's my vertex, and it says the focus is at 0, 3, so 1, 2, 3. Okay, I have my vertex, and I have my focus. So remember, I said the focus is always in between. We have another we have another parabola that is opening to the right, which is y squared equals a positive 4a x minus h. So it should look like this equation here, right? That's the one that opens to the right. So let's think. If I'm trying to come up with an equation, I have y. I know my vertex, the y coordinate is 3, so I have a y minus 3 squared equals 4 times, I still don't know what a is, do I? I'm still not sure what a is. I can find it pretty quick by just my graph, but let's finish out. This is, well, I won't use parentheses there, 4a times x. And if the x coordinate of my vertex is a -2, this should be an x plus 2. Right? but we need to think, what is A? Now, we might be tempted to think that A is 3 because of the earlier examples that we did, but remember I mentioned A is actually the distance from the vertex to the focus. So even though the focus is at 0, 3, 3 is not A. My A should be, this is a distance of 2, okay? Distance between my vertex and focus is 2. So A should be 2, right? So if I'm plugging in A is 2 here, then my equation is y minus 3 squared equals 4 times 2 is 8 times x plus 2, okay? And that is my equation of the parabola with a vertex at -2, 3 and a focus of 0, 3. All right. Hope you guys are following. That's the end of our lesson. Let me know if you guys have questions. Look for homework on Google Classroom. I feel like there's just so much I want to usually say or reiterate at the end of these videos, but just to keep this short, if you have questions, just shoot them my way. Miss you guys. We're almost done here, so only really a couple weeks. For seniors, we have next week pretty much all off. Not pretty much, we have next week all off, and this Friday. So really probably only like 3 more weeks of school for seniors, because I heard you guys might be ending early May. We'll see. Might be 3 or 4 weeks. So crazy. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.